Greetings, I am at chess.com battling the Andrea bot, rated 1800. And if you hang with me to the end, I want to show a really cool end game. And something to keep in mind is always, get ready to prepare for the end game. This bot is a tough bot, 1800. I mean, I don't think, I don't have the ability to set up some kind of trap and win in 20 moves or less or anything. So I'm always thinking about get ready for that strong end game because I just don't have the strength to, wipe out an 1800 bot in, a small amount of moves. So if you're new to chess, just remember control the center and develop your minor pieces. And then later your major pieces come into the game. That's just a good rule of thumb. Okay, so let's keep this going. And this may seem like not a big deal, but part of my tactic when I'm battling like an 1800, which for me is a little bit of a difficult bot to beat, and I'm going to tell you something here in just a moment that makes me uncomfortable to say, but it helps me to keep this in mind and it might help the audience, so I am going to say one of my weaknesses here in just a minute. But so I know material-wise it's the same, and the Richter scale says that the bot is up by 0.2, but I feel like I have the advantage because this pawn structure is messed up, and I keep going for this, as you'll see, and it makes a huge difference in the end game. So I'm not looking for these big wins. I know it's going to be a long, drawn-out game. I mean, this one goes to, 61 moves, I think. But hang with me. I'm going somewhere with all my rambling. So I think my problem, in hindsight, like I should have moved this pawn up. I think that would have been sweet for something like this to happen, and then this queen would protect that knight. But anyway, that's hindsight. Always review your games. It will help you tremendously. See, I was so focused on guarding this knight. Okay, so it took me a little over an hour to play this game, this 1800 game. Okay, so if I was to play this with a 10-minute clock, I don't think I could beat it. And my strength in chess is I stare at the board before I make a move. And that's why it takes me an hour to play this game. But, if you're struggling in chess or you're stuck or something, play a bot. Don't put any time on the clock and just take your time. However long it takes is how long it takes. And it'll strengthen you up. Okay, so I've been recently looking at, so I'm going to say this, and I don't mean to sound smart, but if I have 2 hours to play chess on a Saturday afternoon or something, I can battle a 2200, usually even a 2300 bot, and usually win, okay? Now, hang on. I know that sounds bad, but I'm going somewhere with this. Then when I do that, when I say I battle a 2100 and I win, great. Then now the next day I set it to an 1800 or something like this. I find that I struggle. And I'm like, why is that? And I tell you, I think it's because, and I hate to say this, but I think I almost get a little arrogant in that I think, hey, yesterday I beat a 2100, so now I'm just going to battle in 1800. It's no big deal. And I start looking at it and I think, yeah, that's a good move. Yeah, look at that. That's a good position. I'm just going to do it. And I don't give it that extra depth of thought that I normally would. And I think that's what gets me in trouble. Okay, so let me keep this going here. Sorry, I'm going in the wrong direction. Okay, so I was just trying to lay down some heat. My opponent has these two major pieces lined up, which is something I always try to do, is line up some major pieces. But my opponent does now, and I do not, so I don't like that. And my opponent, this is a semi-open file. It's a semi-open file because there's only one pawn on it. Okay, so there are no open files. All files are closed, as you can see, except for this one semi-open, and the Andrea bot owns it pretty well. So I've got to step back and regroup. And, the computer's got me ahead by, what's that say, 1.75 on the Richter scale. But honestly, I don't quite see it. Like I said, I'm kind of struggling with this game, trying to regain control over the center here with these little moves. Here we go. I like this. I like as soon as that knight moves, you're losing a major piece with a minor piece. So I like that about my position. But my opponent has a pretty good stronghold on the center. So the computer says I'm up by, what's that say, 0.85 on the Richter scale, but it sure doesn't feel like it when I played this game. I did not play it with this. I would like to go for the triple crown. If you use these aids and stuff during the game, you won't get a triple crown. The whole point is for, they're okay to use once in a while, but the whole point is to think on your own. And so that's what I always try to do. And that's kind of my strength in chess, is to just have 2 hours on a Saturday afternoon and just focus in on it. I'm not very good at the 10-minute games, which are super popular right now. I just can't think fast enough, honestly. Okay, so let me go back just a second. I want to point this out. The reason why I dropped this queen back down to here is because all the queen has to do, yes, I do have this rank covered, the 8th rank, but what if it drops down to the 7th rank, Then I'm ding-donging around, I'm coming over here, then the queen hops back up to here, and ugh. So I'm just covering this 7th rank as well. Okay, and now I need to bring it in taut, nice and taut. I really want to control these. My opponent, as their major pieces lined up, there's one open file. Where we were talking just about open files, and my opponent owns it. And so I need to really focus in on that. Okay, so here. Okay, now we're talking about end games now. Look at this. Isolated, double stacked, okay? Double stacked, and there's no aid, okay? So now I do have to be aware of this, but my king's right here, so we're going to take care of that problem here really quick. So that's check, has to be dealt with. All right, so before we run out of time, we're going to get busy. By time, I mean tempo here, okay, not clock time. So let's take care of that situation. Now, it's going to come down to this back and forth, watching these moves, okay? This is where, remember when this happened early in the game, this isolated double stack? Look how it's hurting my opponent right now, okay? So, okay, trying to cut that king off. I own both these squares, and now I own this square. So all I have to do is watch my time as far as moving pieces, okay? I'm not talking about clock time, okay? And so there we go. So it really come down to, and then, it really come down to not allowing that king to come down. And I had plenty of moves more I could make, and, can't move. So sooner or later, she's going to have to move that king out of my way to clean house. And that's what I was looking for, exactly. Now, when you're promoting a pawn, you want to get your king on top of your pawn, not below. Sometimes if your king's stuck below a pawn and you're trying to promote it, this is no good, okay? All right. So I'm cutting this off. So now, see, look, my king owns these 3 squares. And now it's just a matter of time. There it is. But, there's probably, okay, so here we go. I own these squares. I own this square. There's probably some, better way to do it. I'm going to take the coward's way out and just get this other pawn up here. So that's what I did. I took the coward's way out. And, it's mate. So a lot of fun. Like I said, I would love to make videos on 5 and 10 minute games. 5 and 10 minute games are kind of their own separate beast. I feel like instead of deep thought, it relies more on pattern recognition. And so, that's something that I'm going to try to work on a little bit so that I can be better at 5 and 10 minute games. And I might start making such videos. But anyway, I hope this helps. The point is, if you're playing a tough bot, 2 points actually. Take your time. Get ready for that end game. Don't, if it's even matched, you're talking 40, 42 moves. I know it's not going to happen that quick. So I just prepare for the end game. That's what I kept thinking the whole time with this bot. And sometimes I find myself getting, dare I say, a little arrogant in that, well, yesterday, Saturday, I beat a 2100 bot, so now I'm just playing at 18. Yeah, this is a good enough move. That's just no good. I have to be aware of this. I think that's why I'm struggling with some of these 1800s. 1800 tough bot, very tough bot. This Andrea is a tough bot. I hope this helps, and thanks for watching. And as always, have a great day.